What happens when the greatest king on earth forgets that he is nothing before the King of heaven? Imagine a man who once commanded armies, ruled nations, and built wonders that shook the ancient world, suddenly crawling in the fields like an animal, eating grass like oxen, and living drenched in dew. This is not a myth. This is the true story of Nebuchadnezzar, the beast king of the Bible. In today's episode, we're diving deep into one of the most dramatic and mysterious transformations in Scripture, the humbling of King Nebuchadnezzar. Why did God reduce him to the mind of a beast? What message does this carry for kings, leaders, and even us today? Stay with me, because this story is not just history, it is prophecy, revelation, and a mirror to our own hearts. Alright guys, welcome back to Divine Insights TV, the channel where we uncover the mysteries, the revelations, and the hidden treasures of the Bible. If you don't know me, my name is Sammy, and I'm the voice behind this channel. If you're new here, you're welcome, and if you're not, thank you for always returning. Here we don't just tell Bible stories, we bring them to life, connect them with your spiritual journey, and draw out divine insights that strengthen your walk with God. Now let's get into today's message. The story of Nebuchadnezzar begins in the golden days of Babylon, the jewel of the ancient world. Babylon was not just a city, it was a symbol of human greatness, filled with majestic walls, towering gates, and the hanging gardens, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. At the center of this empire stood King Nebuchadnezzar II, the most powerful monarch of his time. Nebuchadnezzar's reign was marked by conquest. He defeated Egypt, subdued nations, and carried away captives, including Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from Jerusalem. His kingdom stretched far and wide, and his power seemed unstoppable. To the people of his day, he was more than a king, he was almost like a god. But hidden beneath the gold and glory was a dangerous flaw, pride. God, in his mercy, never judges without warning. And so Nebuchadnezzar received many chances to recognize that his power was not his own but given by the Most High. In Daniel 2, God gave Nebuchadnezzar a dream of a statue made of gold, silver, bronze, iron, and clay, representing kingdoms that would rise and fall. Nebuchadnezzar was told clearly, "You are the head of gold, but after you shall arise another kingdom." The message was simple, your reign is great, but it is temporary. God rules history. In Daniel 3, when he built a golden image and demanded worship, God delivered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from the fiery furnace, proving his supremacy. Yet Nebuchadnezzar's heart remained lifted up. He acknowledged God's power in moments, but pride always returned. One night, Nebuchadnezzar had a terrifying dream. He saw a massive tree that grew strong and tall, reaching the heavens and sheltering beasts and birds alike. Suddenly, a holy watcher came down from heaven and decreed, "Cut down the tree. Strip off its branches, scatter its fruit. Let the stump remain, bound with iron and bronze, and let him be drenched with dew, living with the beasts. Let 7 times pass over him, until he learns that the Most High rules in the kingdom of men and gives it to whomever he will." Troubled, Nebuchadnezzar called for Daniel to interpret. Daniel's face grew pale. He explained, "O king, the tree is you. Your greatness has reached the heavens, but because of your pride, God will humble you. You will be driven to live like an animal for 7 years, until you acknowledge that heaven rules." But even with this clear warning, Nebuchadnezzar did not change. 12 months later, Nebuchadnezzar walked on the roof of his palace, admiring the glory of Babylon. He said to himself, "Is not this great Babylon, which I have built by my mighty power and for the honor of my majesty?" At that very moment, a voice fell from heaven, "King Nebuchadnezzar, to you it is spoken, the kingdom has departed from you." Immediately, his mind was taken. His royal robe fell from his shoulders. His attendants fled. The great king of Babylon became like a beast. He wandered into the fields, eating grass like oxen, his body wet with dew, his hair growing like eagle's feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. For 7 long years, the once proud king lived like this, cut off from men, stripped of honor, until his heart finally looked upward. At the end of the appointed time, Nebuchadnezzar lifted his eyes toward heaven. Sanity returned, and with it came humility. He declared, "I bless the Most High, and I praised and honored him who lives forever. For his dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom endures from generation to generation. He does according to his will in the army of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. No one can restrain his hand or say to him, 'What have you done?' God restored his throne, his majesty, and his honor. But Nebuchadnezzar was no longer the same. He now understood, kings may reign, but only God rules. Here are 3 powerful lessons you should take from this story. 1. Pride leads to a fall. Proverbs 16 verse 18 says, "Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." Nebuchadnezzar's story is the living proof. Pride blinds us to reality. It makes us believe we are self-made, forgetting that everything, our breath, our power, our success, comes from God. 2. God rules over nations. Daniel 4 verse 17 reminds us that God gives kingdoms to whomever he wills. No ruler, no president, no empire rises without God's allowance. Babylon's greatness was not Nebuchadnezzar's doing, it was a stage for God's purpose. 3. God shows mercy even in judgment. Notice that God did not destroy Nebuchadnezzar. He humbled him to restore him. Even in judgment, there was mercy. The stump of the tree remained because God still had a plan. We may not be kings of nations, but we all build our own Babylons, our careers, our achievements, our reputations. The danger of pride lurks in all of us. The lesson is clear, we must humble ourselves before God humbles us. And that, my friends, is the story of the Beast King, the humbling of Nebuchadnezzar. From a throne to the fields, from pride to humility, his story reminds us that there is only one true King, the Lord Most High. So, I ask you today, is there pride in your life? Are there Babylons you are building without acknowledging God? Remember Nebuchadnezzar's lesson, the Most High rules. If this story blessed you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to Divine Insights TV for more Bible stories, mysteries, and revelations that will transform your spiritual life. Until next time, always remember, heaven rules.